Total Life Pursuit, and this is video number 5 of the Physical Health series. This series is a companion to the Physical Health Manual from Total Life Pursuit that you can find on Amazon.com. So, I want to talk to you today about exercise. And this is my wheelhouse. I love exercise. I love movement. And I don't want you to think of exercise as like going to the gym. I want you to think about exercise as moving. All right? Think about a pond that has no movement. There's no inlet. There's no outlet. What's the water like in the pond? You're about 2/3 or more water. And the same is with us. We are like that pond when we don't move. We just get full of junk. Whether you sit all day or only 6 hours a day, all kinds of bad things can happen to you, like premature death, cardiovascular disease, and other deadly and chronic diseases. Basically, your circulation slows, you burn less fat, you immobilize major muscles in your trunk, and a key cardiovascular disease fighting gene, LPP1, is what? Is suppressed. It helps prevent blood clotting. It helps prevent inflammation. And that gene is suppressed when you sit all day, when you sit at least 6 hours per day in your job. So, as if that wasn't enough, more bad news. It's supposed to be motivation. More bad news. Depression, especially in women, increases as reduced circulation causes fewer feel-good hormones to reach the brain. It is estimated that Jesus not only lifted heavy things, but he moved a lot for 20 plus years of carpentry. But he approximately, during his ministry, they approximate that he walked 21,000 miles. That's 3,000 miles short of walking around the world. In fact, one particular day, he walked 40 miles. In the American Journal of Epidemiology, a study reported that a man who sits more than 6 hours a day has an 18% increased risk of dying from heart disease and an increase of 7.8% dying from diabetes as compared to a person who sits for 3 hours a day or less. As much as we would like to think, 30 minutes or even an hour of exercise does not eradicate the damage of 6, 8, or longer hours of a day sitting down. In a study where researchers monitored over 84,000 nurses for 8 years, the nurses who exercised regularly had a 54% lower risk of both heart attack and stroke when compared to the sedentary women. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say this is good news. You think I'm giving bad news. No, I'm giving good news. If you move around, you're going to increase your life expectancy. You're going to increase your life ability. It's going to be good news. It reduces exercise, reduces the progression of type 2 diabetes by 58%. It immediately helps address hypertension, high blood pressure, and hypercholesterolemia, which is high cholesterol. And it greatly reduces your chance of suffering a heart attack or a stroke. It boosts your immune system against common maladies like the cold and flu. It reduces the intensity and duration of them when you get them. Or it'll prevent them outright. How about that? Even COVID or any other disease that comes up. Exercise helps you avoid the disease. In your brain, it can block the progression of dementia and Alzheimer's by up to 50%. In fact, there's certain exercises that you can do that are strategically and research-based for brain health. Exercise has been shown to help keep your mental facilities longer in life. If we stay in our head for a second and look at psychological factors, it also works wonders and have been shown to reduce symptoms of depression by 30%, closer to 50% in higher doses of exercise. It can help you quit any addiction. It's especially effective with smoking and drinking. In fact, exercise improves sleep quality and can cure sleep disorders like insomnia and apnea. In a study in the PLOS Medicine, in the journal of it, showed 2.5 hours of moderate exercise per week, that's a half hour of brisk walking a day for 5 days, increased life expectancy by 3.5 years. Those in the study who upped their exercise to up their exercise of intensity increased their life expectancy by 4.2 years. 4.2 years to spend on this earth with your grandkids. 4.2 years to do whatever. For me, it's to serve God. 4.2 years. Chronic low-level inflation in the body plays a key role in some of the worst diseases that we have, including heart attack, arthritis, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, asthma, irritated bowel syndrome, and more. And guess what? Exercise helps reduce inflammation. It tames it in the body. For the skeleton, it makes the bones stronger and the muscles less likely to be injured. If exercise were a drug, in older people, this drug would prevent or would help mobility and prevent falls. In postmenopausal women who took this drug 4 times a week had a 47% lower risk of hip fracture. Folks, in one study who took this drug, folks, let me rephrase that. In this one study, the folks who took this drug, exercise being the drug, saw their knee arthritis pain reduced by almost half. That's part of the miracle of this drug. The more you take it, the more active you become. Lymphatic system, or lymphatic fluid, your lymph nodes, you've heard of those. Your lymphatic system, guess how that moves? All your fluid moves around. Movement. If you don't move, it doesn't go around. It's not in your blood. It's muscle contraction and relaxation. Whew. Let me tell you other things. Just a couple other. Helps improve regularity. I don't know if you need that. I personally love regularity. It improves sleep, reduces pain, increases lung capacity, increases memory, gives more energy, and you live a lot longer and a lot better. One researcher conducted an experiment with laboratory rats. He took some rats, shocked them with electrodes. I know this is very mean, but hear it out. He shined bright lights on them. He played loud noises around the clock. At the end of 1 month, all the rats were dead from stress. He then took another group of rats and made them exercise on a treadmill. After they all exercised, he subjected them to the month-long of shocks, noises, and lights. They ran around healthy. None of them died. What am I trying to say? Man, exercise has a absolute effect on your life. You lose about 7 pounds of muscle mass every 10 years, or some would say even up to 1 pound a year after the age of 20 all the way up to 30. Research is a little fuzzy on when it starts, but it does start at least in your 30s. And you lose muscle, and you usually replace it with fat. Absolutely. Your basal metabolic rate, your BMR, decreases by 5% every 10 years after 20. Exercise stops that and even reverses it. Come on, somebody. You know why? We're designed to move. Exercise can increase testosterone. It increases human growth hormone. It increases so many great things in your body that you can't increase otherwise. I said in the eating video, I said you can't out-eat, you can't out-exercise a bad diet, and I truly believe that. But I'll say here again, you can't out-eat a sedentary lifestyle. It just doesn't work. So the questions are, okay, how many days? Let's get practical. How many times? How long do I got to do it? Do I have to go to the gym? What do I got to do? How hard should I go? How soft should I go? It's just walking around the block with my dog and my wife. Depends if you have a hyper dog that pulls you. See Cesar Millan if that's the issue. The ACSM says 150 minutes of moderate to intense a week. As I said before, that's 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. 75 minutes a week of intense working out. So if you want to cut your exercise down, go intense. But you have to be ready for intense workouts or bad things can happen. So how many days? How many days, Terry, do I have to work out? Well, if you want to maintain where you're at, about 3 days a week. If you want some gains, then 4 days a week. Not gaining fat, by the way. Gaining muscle and good fitness. 5 for great progress and really good fitness. And 6 for a great life and great fitness. I get this from Genesis. It says 6 days work, 1 day rest. That's how we're designed. So how long are your workouts? How long do I have to work out? Well, medium effort is a must. That leisurely walk, fine and dandy. It's better than sitting and watching the boob tube. However, medium effort is a must. 10 minutes is an absolute must. 15 minutes is good, especially if it's intense at times. 20 minutes would be ideal for 6 days a week. And 30 minutes would put you into really good fitness, but 45 minutes would propel you to the top percentage. Who wants to be in the top percentage? I do. In class, I never said that in high school. I want to be in the top percentage. I never said that. But now I want to be in the top percentage. I want to be in the top percentage of everything. There isn't any, where do you want your marriage? In the top percentage? Mediocre. No, I want to be in the top percentage. What do I have to do? Well, you have to love your wife a little better. Okay, that's going to take work. Yes, it is. I'm going to have to change some things. I'm going to have to make time for it. Yep. You might have to do some things you don't want to do. Exactly. How about that? So what kind of exercise should I do? Let me give you a couple different types and their relative benefits. HIIT workouts. I love HIIT workouts. High intensity interval training workouts. These come from a Tabata is 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Maximum effort in the 20 seconds, and then 10 seconds of a rest. I do a lot of 30 on, 30 off. I really like that. A Sprint 8 is 30 on for intense exercise like sprinting on a bicycle or sprinting in grass or a beach or something like that and running. And then a minute and 30 at a slow jog or a slow pace. This is great. High intensity interval training. It's a quick workout. All you need is about 15 to 20 minutes and you're done. You burn a lot of calories in a short amount of time because you're doing maximal effort. You raise your metabolic rate for hours, meaning you're burning fat. So you lose fat. You increase HGH, human growth hormone. You increase testosterone. You increase muscle mass. And you stabilize blood sugar. I like it a lot. Cardio, which is a rhythmic activity for 10 minutes or more that raises your heart rate into your target zone. Could be 60 to 70%. That's usually a really good place. So you take your max heart rate, if you don't know it, 220 minus your age. That's an easy way to figure it out. There's a lot more complicated ways. You can look them up on the internet. But 220 minus your age, and then get in 60 to 70% of that for your cardio workout. Your cardio increases cardiovascular output and reduces rest time. It builds mitochondria, little energy, your engines. It puts little engines in your muscles. When done at lower levels especially, it increases endurance. It's not only exercise, but in all of life. It reduces your LDL. So that's the bad cholesterol. I would take issue with that characterization of all LDL, but you know what I mean. It gets rid of waste products in your system and all the other benefits of any kind of exercise. Strength training or weight-bearing exercise, even if it's just your body rate, it increases muscle mass. It elevates your metabolism. It helps you burn fat. It improves your posture. It provides better support for your joints. It reduces the risks of injuries from everyday activities. It reverses the loss of muscle that normally accompanies age. Remember, I told you about that. It helps prevent osteoporosis. It increases levels of dopamine, happy, serotonin, chill, norepinephrine, which can help improve mood and counter the feelings of depression. So intense exercise, what I call intense exercise, a perceived exertion rate of 8 to 9, meaning that you can't talk. It's 1 to 10 scale, like 8 to 9, you can't talk. You can't. I can't even think when I'm doing it. I have to have a paper. How many rounds have I done? I can't even think. Everything kind of shuts down for me when I'm really intense. So it has all the benefits of exercise, plus it gets done quickly. So those are the different types. Which do you need? All of them. All of them. All exercise needs to have a recovery time, though, or it could be detrimental to your goals. A lot of people don't recover. They do one thing, and then the next day they do the same, and the next day they do the same. No. You absolutely need at least 40 hours of recovery for a muscle group. You can't just keep pounding it off, or you may, number one, you'll increase the risk of injury. Number two, if you're trying to get muscle mass, you may even slow that process down. Now, some people are saying, well, I don't want to get all bulky. Usually women say that. I don't want to get all bulky. Well, let me tell you, unless you are a type of person, you're not going to get all bulky. Yeah, but I see those CrossFit gals. I mean, they're just ripped. Yeah. They work out hours a day. Hours. They have a specific diet that they follow. So you're probably not going to get bulky. Okay? What we want to do is we want to build muscle, especially as you get older. So to learn what specific exercises you could do, you can go onto my website, totallifepursuit.org, totallifepursuit.org, and you'll see some there. There's also programming workouts is something that we do, and we would be glad to give you a program that you can follow for a month, and we'll give you a new program every month. We also have demonstration videos on the website, so you'll understand what a particular exercise looks at, and a couple form cues, okay? It is important to maintain full range of motion when you exercise, whatever you do. I remember this guy at the gym, and I mean, he was an older guy, and he had a nice physical appearance, you know? He was not yoked, but he had good musculature. But I remember him doing his curls. He always did them right here. This is all he did. Got to get full range of motion, all the way down, all the way up. Now, there's specific types of exercises where I'm cutting my motion down for a certain amount of time for a certain reason. I get that. But what you don't want is a shoulder press that goes from here to here. That's not it. It's there, right here. So it comes down here, up here, down here, up here. Okay? You want a full range of motion. You want muscle elasticity. In other words, stretch people. You know, the muscles don't get any looser as you get older. They get tighter. I'm 60. It's a battle. So I'm winning the battle. I'm going to win the battle because that's who I am. And that's who you are. You win battles. So keep yourself flexible. Balancing. This is very important. And quick movements, proprioceptive abilities. Okay, the ability to move from one place to another and the ability to balance on one foot, you know. These things have to be practiced. You lose it. When you're a kid, you walk on the top of a wall. I don't know if you did, but I did, and all my kids did. They used to have this course that they would climb up the ladder here, and they'd walk over here all along the top of a wall and all the way to the other side, and then they'd jump off, and it was like this race. I know it was kind of dangerous, but you know, I was that kind of parent. If they thought they could do it, I would let them do it. And they had a lot of fun. I don't think they fell off, although a neighbor kid did. He got all scraped up, but he healed. That's what the body does. It heals. Anyways, you don't practice the balance, guess what? You lose your balance. So you got to practice those things. You got to stretch for mobility. You got to work your range of motion. How high can you lift your hand? Can you go all the way up? Or once you get here, it's like, whoop, that's it. Well, you got to work at it. You can work at it. Activities and sports, tennis, basketball, biking, hiking, roller skating, things like this. All of those are wonderful. You think, well, I still have to go to the gym. Find something that you enjoy and do it. If you like playing tennis, the tennis is a little hard on your body, a lot of pounding, a lot of start and stop. But hey, if you love it, go for it. You could do things that are hobby focused. I love surfing. Yes, surfing is a hard workout, but I love it. It's like a hobby. Or maybe you're a skater, or maybe you're a gardener. You know, digging all day in the flower bed, that's hard work. So that's good as well. Sometimes, or all the time, you have to change your routine. As I said before, every 4 weeks we do it when we program people. So every 3 to 5 weeks. Why? Because you are progress. Week 4, week 5, it just starts to level out, and you want progress. So you mix and match what you do. You go for a nice walk, you do strength training, you do your hobby or your activity, you do some cardio, you do some strength training, you walk and do your hobby activity, repeat. You get what I'm saying? You just keep moving and keep it changed up. If you want to be a beast, then you're going to have to do something different. I don't want to be a beast. Oh, yeah, you do. Let me tell you, nobody, when they're 70, is like, wow, I'm really glad I'm kind of frail and weak. Nobody says that. Thank God I didn't exercise and I lost all of my muscle and I can't lift things and I got to get help now to do everything. Nobody says that. Thank God that I have a walker and that I can use that to balance because I'm not strong enough, nor do I have good enough balance to walk. Nobody says that. Nobody. So let's get after it. How hard should you go? Well, when you start out, you got to go easy. And then you can start progressing to something a little tougher. I want you to step it up. I want you to sweat. I want you to not be able to hold a fluid conversation. Okay? That's the perceived rate of exertion of 4 or higher. In other words, I'm talking to you now. I can have a conversation with you now. But if I'm working out, it sounds a lot more choppy in my conversation because I'm at this middle ground of perceived rate of exertion. This is really good to be at. You got to get up to that point. Find something that you enjoy, or if you I hate exercise. I just can't stand it. I don't like the gym. I don't like biking. I don't like any sports. I don't like gardening. I don't like anything, Terry. I kind of sound like Jim Gaffigan when I do that. I don't know. And so, well, what do? Find some result that you would enjoy. Okay? And then you got to discipline yourself. It's just how it goes. I don't always like being in the gym. You're thinking, oh, come on, you love lifting weights. I do love lifting weights, but sometimes I don't. I don't want to. But I have this motivation that I want to be great my whole life. I want to be physically in the top percentile, at least in the top 5 percentile of all of America. And I'm not comparing myself. I'm just thinking that's where I want to be. I want to be that for my kids. I want to be that for my grandkids. I want to be that for my great-grandkids. That I can take my great-grandkids out and teach them how to surf. That we can go ride 50 miles on a bike together. I mean, why not? Because I'm old and you can't do that stuff? That is nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. So we got to change our mind. Somehow, some way, we got to have the requisite discipline to do what you might not like to do when you might not like to do it. Like I do. I'm like, I don't want to work out today. I'm going to work out. But I don't want to. Well, too bad. It's time to put your big boy pants on. Big girl pants. Not trying to be sexist. Put your big pants on and get out there and do it. You have that ability. You're strong. You have the tenacity. So go out and do it. You got to change your mind somehow. If you hate it, you got to change your mind. Ask God to change your mind. God, help me change my mind. See the beauty of what it's going to bring. So where do I don't know what to do. Where do I go to a gym or go to a home? I don't know. Well, you can hire a personal trainer. I highly recommend this if you have the resources to do so they can not only program you and get to the result that you want the fastest, but they can show you how to do the moves, the exercise moves correctly. You can go to a gym that has a program. Okay, they have a program or they have classes. You can do that. You can pay an online service. They'll have little caricatures and go, okay, it's push-up time. And you see little guys on the video screen doing push-ups. You can do that. One of those mirror things or those at home. There's so many things right now like video deals that you can do at home. So if that's your thing, I like being with a group of people. There's more energy in the room and I try harder. I like that. All right, learn and then learn some more. Watch YouTube videos. You'll never know until you try whether you like it. Yeah, there's a lot of opinions out there, so you don't believe every video. But sometimes what you'll see when you read articles and you'll see videos is you'll see this current that runs through it. And that's what you want to find. So, what would be my ideal program for you for the week? Here it is. Cardio or HIIT training twice a week. Strength training twice a week. Speed, agility, and quickness, SAQ, moving quickly on your feet, once a week. And mobility, balance, and core. Well, core, work it every day or every other day. But mobility and balance, you got to work that. You got to work the mobility. You got to work the balance. But don't forget about your core, because your core, it ties the lower end to the upper end. You got to have a strong core. You have a strong core, you stay out of the back doctor. Who likes staying out of the doctor's office? Good. Develop your core. Learn how to sit up and just, suck it in, suck it in. Take your little belly button right now. Put your fingers on it right here. Here we go. Right? Breathe out your diaphragm. Right? It's coming in and out. Now take a breath in. Not all the way in, just like 3/4. And what I want you to do is contract your muscles there and pull that belly button in until you feel it in your spine, drawing both sheaths of muscles right here back, and everything's going to compress against that spine. That is where you want to live, so you got to work on that. So, my last piece of advice: turn the video off and go work out, somebody. Get out of here. Go be fit. Be able for the rest of your life. Let's go. This is Terry with Total Life Pursuit. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.